Hey everyone, how's everybody doing tonight? I'm Bill. Today we got some severe weather that's going on around the Midwest and in the Northeast, especially around the Kansas area. So, like I said, we're going to be streaming as long as we can tonight. Um, we're going to get right to it. Go to WSB3, show the radar there around the Kansas City, then while and keep up with that. Let everybody know what's around the Kansas City area today in Kansas. Um, Go over some warnings that's out right now. Go over some watches. Um, so let's get right to WSB3. So here we go. All right. As we look right here, we're looking at Kansas City, both sides, both Missouri and in state of Kansas. We're using KTWX, which is the Topeka radar site. You see, we got two severe thunderstorm warnings at this time for this area. And you also see there's a severe thunderstorm watch for the area of Kansas City. Um, there's other storms going on right now, but we're going to talk about this area at the moment. What's going on here? What we see? What we've got? Um, okay, here we go. First severe thunderstorm warning was issued at 6:57 Central Daylight Time by the National Weather Service for Central Geary County in east central Kansas, Riley County in northeastern Kansas, and southwestern Pottawatomie County in northeastern Kansas. It's until 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:55 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm warning was located near Keats, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. It has 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Um, Locations impacted include Manhattan, Wamego, Ogden, Riley, St. George, Milford, Leonardville, Louisville, Randolph, Keats, and Turtle Creek Lake. This also includes Interstate 70 between mile markers 301 and 321. Law enforcement at 5:54 Central Daylight Time reported 1 inch and a half inch hail, 1.5 inch hail in Leonardville. The other severe thunderstorm warning we have right here was issued at 6:45 Central Daylight Time, effective till 7:15 Central Daylight Time for north central Pottawatomie County, southwestern Nemaha, and southeastern Marshall counties. At 6:44 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Frankfort, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. This has 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Locations impacted include Frankfort, Vermilion, Wheaton, and Lillis. There is also a tornado watch in effect until midnight Central Daylight Time for northeastern Kansas. As we zoom here into these storms, you can see the 2-inch hail, the 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. They're estimated here in Manhattan and also up here near Maryville. It also says 2-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. With this storm here in Manhattan, the hail icon is showing 2.5 inch hail with a severe hail probability of 70%. We're going to look at the hail size real quick on this storm, so we get an idea of just how big this hail is when it pulls up. Give it time to pull up here. All right, WSB3 is frozen again. All right, let's go. Let's look at velocity real quick. Look at some wind speeds. See if we find out where these 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are. There's some in right here near Onaga that are 42 mile per hour, 50 mile per hour wind gusts approximately. We got some 30 mile per hour wind gusts showing on this storm here. I'm trying to find where they're saying 60 mile per hour wind gust, but these are constant winds at the moment in this severe thunderstorm warning. That's those two storms at this time. Let's try the see if we get the hail to come up real quick. Like I said, I got GR2, GR3 going. Watching these storms as they go through the night. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning issued. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning issued at 7:09 p.m. Central Daylight Time for northeastern Pottawatomie County in northeastern Kansas, southern Nemaha County in northeastern Kansas, northwestern Jackson County in northeastern Kansas, and southeastern Marshall County in northeastern Kansas until 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:08 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Lillis, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Ping pong sized hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Locations impacted include Elaine, Frankfort, Omega, Centralia, Wedmore, Cumming Soldier, Heavensville, Gulf, Vermilion, Wheaton, and Lillis. I'm going to pull that up. That's the three severe thunderstorm warnings in this area. I'm going to pull up the severe thunderstorm watch and read that off to you. All right. At 4:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorm watch for portions of northeast Kansas, northwest Missouri, and far southeast Nebraska. It's in effect until 4:50 p.m. midnight Central Daylight Time. From 4:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time until midnight Central Daylight Time. Primary threat includes scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events up to 2.5 inches in diameter possible. Isolated damaging winds gusts up to 70 miles per hour are possible. A tornado or two is possible. Strong severe thunderstorms should continue to develop this evening and move southeastward along and north of a prior outflow boundary. Large hail will be the primary risk for this. Mostly elevated storms to the north of the outflow boundary. The severe thunderstorm watch is approximately along 45 statute miles north and south of a line from 30 miles southwest of Falls City, Nebraska to 55 miles east northeast of Kansas City, Missouri. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms in and close to the watch area. Persons in these areas should be on the lookout for threatening weather conditions and listen for later wet statements and possible warnings. Severe thunderstorms can and occasionally produce tornadoes. The current tornado watch is in effect. It was issued at 6:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It includes portions of north, central, and eastern Kansas, affected until midnight Central Daylight Time. Primary threats includes a couple tornadoes that are possible, scattered large hail, and isolated very large hail events 2.5 inches in diameter, wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. This also, as a summary, severe thunderstorms are expected to develop this evening, particularly near a stall boundary that is oriented roughly west to east across north central northeast Kansas. Large hail and locally damaging winds may be the most common risk, but adequate moisture and seasonally strong low level shear supports the possibility of tornadoes, especially across the northeast and east central Kansas area. So basically, what they're saying is this area that's in this watch list and the tornado watch need to stay weather aware, listen to local reports, stay tuned to us. Like I said, we'll be here till late tonight watching these storm systems. As you notice right here on this storm just north of Onega, we have a meso detection this time. Strength on this detection is 5 with a base height of 3,000 feet, depth of 9,000 feet. So that's the area, that's the meso detection. I'll go to GR2, see if we can pull that up in the 3D mode to show you what they're looking at if it pulls up. I'm going to zoom out real quick, make sure there's no possible tornado warnings anywhere before I swap over to GR2. Now I'm going to zoom back in and leave this radar here because this seems to be the primary threat, but I will go over the other tornado warning areas, other severe thunderstorms in just a few. Alright, I'm on GR2 at this time. Show what we got going on. If you notice in this severe thunderstorm warning here near Onega, it's starting to get a little bit of inflow where this TVS is at the moment. So with that inflow, there's a TVS marker of 11.6. It's the 1.6 is at 48,232 feet, 1.3 at 22,632 feet, 1.1 at 18,686 feet, another rating of 1.1 at 5,409 feet, and a last 1.1 rating of 3,853 feet. This storm is starting to form a hook. As you know, you can see how the storm is curving around the hook. I mean, it's getting inflow and it's starting to rotate right there. We'll pull a 3D up of this area. There's your reflectivity of this storm, base reflectivity. The storm is looking to be about 3 to 5,000 feet off the ground and up to almost 50,000 feet. This is base velocity of this storm. You can see here where it's coming in and coming around, and a little bit here where the green meets the red. That's where they're saying you're getting inflow and starting to rotate possibly right there. And I'll pull up the rotation, see what we got here on rotation. If you can see this, it's a lot of rotation inside this storm at the moment. But there's some major areas of the blue where it's getting really close to the ground and curving around at the moment. You got the green and blue here on the rotation. And we'll look at it from above like I showed you before. You see here, this is where we're looking on top of the storm as it's moving right now. With this hook, this will more likely be inside the hook where it's coming in this direction, coming around, and this is spinning. This is going counterclockwise, rotation right here. Close off that, and we'll look at the storm again, and look at the hook that's formed right here. I'll let it go in motion so you can see how the hook is just coming out. How it forms right there. See, they've taken the TVS marker off at this moment, off this storm. It just means the rotation is not being picked up by. It's still got rotation, but the TVS signature went away on this radar. Different radars have different settings for rotation in TVS. So I'll look at GR2 and GR3 real quick and compare them. We're gonna go over to GR3 and look at that. Look at that radar. You see here, GR3 is showing a meso detection on this storm. Meso strength is 4781. The low level rotation velocity is 36. The low level delta velocity is 28 knots. The base is less than 3,000 feet. The depth is 39,000 feet. Maximum rotation velocity is 57 knots, and the height of it is 32,000 feet. There's also a small area of rotation in the back that's being picked up. I'm going to swap over to base velocity, and you can see where the green and red's here. This is what it's picking up. The rotation is where the green and the red are starting to rotate right there. We'll look at storm relative. Tilt 1. I am getting some of these winds 43 knots right here, 46, 47 knots right here in this red of wind speed. Again, there's the meso detection right there. You see it's right here, right where the green and red. This here's different colors: aqua and red, aqua and pink. I'll go back to GR2 and we'll see if we see it a little bit better now on GR2. And we'll pull up the rotation because we know where it was at. Even though this is not showing it, on GR3 we saw where it was at. Again, this is the storm. You got your updraft coming back here on the storm. You notice it's very low to the ground. Like it said, it was 3,000 feet. Still see a lot of rotation in this storm. It's getting more well defined since the last scan we looked at it. So I would not be surprised if this does not go tornado warn with a radar indicated, possibly in the next few minutes. By the way, the rotation is starting to form here on the storm, inside the storm. The National Weather Service will be the ones issuing any warnings on these storms. All the watches come out of the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. But the National Weather Service local offices are the ones that issue the warnings for all storms. So right now, it's still a severe thunderstorm. Looking at it, I got an update here. Public reported at least 2 public reported golf ball size hail 4 miles south of Lillis. So there is golf ball size hail in this storm. If you're outside in this area, take cover with this hail coming down. I've said it before, bring your animals inside. If you can, park your cars in a garage or covered from this hail. It will cause damage to roofs, also vehicles. Alright, we're gonna I'm gonna go look at a couple other areas real quick and see what we got. We'll scan over. Alright, we'll go back to WSB3 and let you see that radar just a second. They just issued another severe thunderstorm warning. Uh, Severe thunderstorm warning was issued at 7:23 p.m. Central Daylight Time until 8:15 Central Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Brown County in northeastern Kansas. A severe thunderstorm was located 4 miles northeast of Morrill, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Radar indicates ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Locations impacted include Hiawatha, Horton, Everest, Robinson, Morrill, Reserve, Powhatan, Hamlin, and Willis. We're going to zoom in again on this storm. See, it's saying it public reported inch and three-quarter hail right there. And then on this storm there, Manhattan, public emergency manager reported 2-inch hail in Keats, Kansas, which is in Riley County. Yeah, they're both for. I'm still concerned about this one storm, the way the hook is going. Um, this one's not got much. It's trying, but I don't foresee it coming around at the moment. But this one right here, I am definitely concerned about because the hook has been forming, even though it's showing two forms of inflow right here. I'm gonna do another 3D view of this and see if there's any difference in the rotation. See if it's gotten bigger. It's definitely got more well defined in this area. As you see here on the 3D model. And this is looking down on it right now. I imagine this is probably a large area. If you're looking at the storm right now, if you're looking up at it, you could definitely see the rotation as you're looking up. It's just not enough right now for them to go tornado warned. Like I said, I gotta remember when I'm doing these, I gotta change my pointer. Right here at Ogden, there's a new meso detection on this storm. It's a 17.1 meso detection. We're gonna pull the 3D on this one and look down here. Look at this storm around where this meso detection is. See this storm? Again, this is probably about, looking at it, maybe about 2 to 3,000 feet off the ground, and it goes all the way up to almost 50,000 feet, over 50,000 feet. So your echo tops, which is the top of the storm, is over 50,000 feet. There's the rotation in this storm that they're seeing. It also is a large area that's rotating. So this one's trying to get more of a defined area of rotation. You see it here as we're looking down on it, going around. That's probably what that should be. If we look down from the top of the base reflectivity, There's your rotation there. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. We're gonna relook at this storm. I'm gonna try to get it where you actually see the hook in the 3D models, and it's got more of a hook this time. So I'm gonna zoom out on it. That way you can see the hook from above, but it's not gonna let me. But you can look back here, the back side of it. There we go. There's the hook part coming in. If you look here, you see the updrafts coming up as it's moving. It's pulling this moisture, and everything's being pulled up in this storm. There, like I said, there's your updraft into the storm, pulling it up. Let's look at the rotation again. See, it's more a well-defined area of rotation now. You got the blue and you got the green. What this is going one. The green's going away from it, and the blue's going towards it on rotation here. See how it's circling. I would not be surprised if either one of these go tornado warn very soon due to the rotation that we're seeing. I'm gonna pull up base on this storm here. I'm gonna pull up base velocity and storm relative velocity. I'm gonna do a two-panel window. I got storm relative on this side. On this side, I'll do base velocity. And I'm going to zoom in right where they're showing that to give you an idea of what they're seeing. You see the red is away from radar, green's towards the radar. And then you see a little spot right here, also some high winds. That is also a small area of rotation right here on storm relative. It's showing 38 knots outgoing and 49 knots incoming. You're looking about 81 knots of gate to gate shear in this storm right here on this one little area. But then you have your threshold here of meso detection, and you see the comparison. Storm relative shows the actual storm velocity, and then we have this other area compared to right here near Ogden. You see it here on base velocity, and the TVS mark, the meso detection just went away on it in this scan, but it will probably come back as much rotation is in there we saw. I'm going to zoom out of this storm. We're going to go up here to this one, which is the Wheaton and Onaga area. You can see this right here will be the hook coming around. So when I put this back on reflectivity, you'll be able to see both of them at the same time. See, there's the hook area, how the float wind is going around and coming back in here. On this hook. The way we can see that's where it's coming through at. I'm going to pull 3D up again on this one. I am kind of watching chat, so if there's anything else going around, let me know. All right, I'll check correlation coefficient in just 1 second. You see this right here. You can see more of the cloud top, echo top, everything. How it's doing. So so like I said, you see how the storm, the supercell, is doing. Look at this updraft on the backside of this storm. If you're on the if you're up underneath this storm right now, you would see this probably what you would call a shelf cloud. See how it steps up here like this? The backup would be shelf clouds. And there's your updraft going into this supercell. Let me go back over here to it. Let me get the rotation. Looking at it, it's still a lot of rotation in this storm. Some of it's almost reaching to the ground. And I'm going to swap over to WSV3 because I like the correlation coefficient on that storm. Because it's a lot easier to see than on GR2 and GR3. I'm just making sure they haven't issued any other severe thunderstorm warnings for this area. And they haven't. Alright. WSV3, we're going to go look at. See here we got these 3 severe thunderstorm warnings at this time. See WSV3 is showing a meso detection on this upper storm of 5, base height 7,000 feet, depth is 18,000 feet. This storm right here that we were looking at, you can see the hook on it. Meso detection is strength is 5, low level rotation is 27 knots, base height is 3,000 feet, depth is 19,000 feet. The storm down here near Manhattan, with a rotation near Ogden, is a 6. Low level rotation is 36 knots. Base height is 2,000 feet. Depth is 22,000 feet. Alright, I'm going to change to correlation coefficient. Just look real quick. Make sure there's nothing. I don't see anything showing up on correlation coefficient this time in this area. Like I said, there's nothing on the ground. They're not seeing anything. There's no tornado warnings or anything. So it wouldn't, it may be picking up dust or something. But these areas right here is just radar. Where the radar moves through this area, it could be picking up where the hail is. Now I'm going to go to velocity. Well, let's try the, see if we can pull up. Here we go. Now we're going to check the hail on all these storms, hail size. This storm right here, 2.3 inches, 2.2, 2 inches, inch and a half on this storm near just south of Manhattan. This storm here, Onaga, 2.5 inches of hail, almost 3 inches, 2.7 inches of hail in this one area. 2.8, almost 3-inch hail in the backside of this storm. On this storm here, we have 2-inch hail, 2.3, 2.5-inch hail on this storm. Even though it says 1.5 inches, it's actually pulling up 2.5 inches. All right. We change back over to reflectivity. It's easier to see these hooks with the smoothing on. A lot of people don't like the smoothing, but it makes it easier to notice the hooks on these storms. See, this one still has a small hook in this area. See this one? This one's got the inflow here with a hook and a meso detection right there. You see how the top of the storm is as it's curving around that area. There's not a hook on this one in Manhattan anymore. It's got what I call a little boot off to the side, but there's no actual hook on that storm. All right, I'm gonna go look at these storms on the northeast, but I will keep an eye on the Kansas City area, Kansas, Nebraska area, and Missouri area. I'm gonna go up here and look at Minnesota at this storm here near Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Because it's going into Minnesota at this time. Let it pull up. There we go. See, there's a small squall line in this area trying to form. It's the multi-convection system. It's just a cluster of storms right now. It's moving into this area of Minnesota. There's also a meso detection on this storm near Dale Rapids. Measured strength on this detection is a 5. Base height's 1,000 feet. Depth is 8,000 feet on this one. There is a little bit of hook here. I'll pull up velocity real quick and look at that. I'm gonna let it scan for a minute because this right here looks to be like some feedback on the radar. I want to let it scan a couple more times before I start measuring this area. Get the live scan going. Give it 1 second. Live scan should start up in a minute before I pull the speed. Alright. According to this, at the moment, I don't know. Like I said, it looks like a lot of feedback. It's showing 70-mile-per-hour winds outgoing. Um, if that was true, this would be under severe thunderstorm warning also. So I'm thinking it's more of a radar issue in that area. But it's trying to make a little outflow boundary on right here. If you see it, around Montrose, Canastota, heading towards the Hartford area. Let me get storm relative velocity, see what it does. And if you look at it, some of it you tell is like 48, 50 mile an hour winds. And I think that's the way that it's looking. It's a issue with the radar at the moment. All right, what does these other storms look like? I'm gonna check those real quick. They're down in Kansas before I go over to the northeast. All right, we're gonna move over to the northeast real quick. Look around Pennsylvania area and see what's going on over there. All right. Sorry, I took over the water. Anybody want to go fishing? All right, I'm going to use KCCX here in Pennsylvania at the moment. Um, Look at these storms. This storm here near Carlisle is moving to the northeast. Um, the storm will be near Thompson around 8:48 Eastern Daylight Time. 8:49 in Blaine, 9:01 in Millerstown, 9:10 in Landonsburg, 9:11 in Newport, 9:17 in New Bloomfield, 9:24 in Liverpool, 9:30 in Millersburg. That's with this severe thunderstorm warning at this time. That's moving it with winds up to 60 mile per hour and 1 inch hail. I don't see any type of meso detections on this storm, but just to be noted, this does have some high winds with it, damaging winds. Let me see if I get some more. I don't see the winds where they're saying they're. I'm trying to pull up the wind speed on here. Let me go to storm relative. There, I'm getting 20 and 18, 20 mile per hour winds on storm relative, but that's just a steady wind possibly. When they're gusting so high, sometimes it picks it up and sometimes it doesn't, according to the radar. We'll go back to reflectivity. If you look around Scranton, it's in Williamsport, it's not severe warned at this moment, but be advised you're going to get some heavy rain, probably some heavy damaging winds, um, some lightning, and possibility of 1 inch hail heading towards Scranton and Williamsport. And also let you know that just because these storms they're moving at a slow rate, there may be some localized flooding with these storms because how slow they are moving. We're going to look at this one in Binghamton right now. This severe thunderstorm warning. It was issued at 8:43 Eastern Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Tioga. They say that part of it's canceled. It moved out of that area, but it still remains in effect till 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for southwestern Broome and northwestern Susquehanna counties. I'm sorry if I'm saying these wrong. It's my southern accent, and I don't know. Okay, Chase in. Was that confirmed or unconfirmed? 2 phone clock 2 minutes ago. Okay. All right. This severe thunderstorm was issued at 8:42. It was located near Vestal Center near Binghamton, moving east at 30 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gust, and quarter size hail. Locations include Binghamton, Vestal, Johnson City, Endicott, Kinkwood, Conklin, Maine, Port Dixon, Halstead, and Great Bend. All right. There's also 2 flash flood warnings for this area. There's a severe thunderstorm warning also for that was issued at 8:36 p.m. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for north central Crawford County. 8:36 Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Cambridge Springs, or 8 miles north of Meadville, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. This storm has radar indicated 70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size hail. Locations impacted include Meadville, Cambridge Springs, Sagertown, Venango, and Woodcock. Like it says, torrential rainfall is occurring in these storms and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through a flooded roadways. All right, I'm gonna go back to Kansas real quick. I'm gonna swap over to I think KEX. Reason being, they're too close to the Topeka radar, and I would get a lot of range folding being that close, and we'll not probably get a good reading on these storms. All right, severe thunderstorm warning was issued at 7:46 Central Daylight Time for Donovan County in northeastern Kansas, north central Atchison County in northeastern Kansas until 8:30 Central Daylight Time. At 7:46 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorm was located near Robinson or near Hiawatha, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. Radar has indicated 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. Locations include Highland, Troy, Lancaster, Denton, Donovan, Severance, Huron, Leona, Fanny, and Medina. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for southeastern Geary County in east central Kansas, southeastern Riley County in northeastern Kansas, northeastern Morris County in east central Kansas, central Wabanesi County in east central Kansas until 8:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:45 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles northwest of Alma, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Radar has indicated 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. If you or your animals are outdoors, you will be injured with this hail. You expect damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. You can also expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Alma, Eskridge, Alta Vista, Dwight, McFarland, Paxico, and Volland. Also includes Interstate 70 between mile markers 311 and 337. So these storms are gaining strength. I'm going to zoom out on this. You notice they are all around this area right here, heading towards the Kansas City area. Manhattan is a big college town. It's where Kansas State's located. So if you got family or friends that go to Kansas State, please let them know. And if you got friends or family that go to the University of Kansas, it's located here in Lawrence, off of 170, I-70. It's just south of severe thunderstorm warning watch, but these storms are moving in that direction at this time. This has got a meso strength of 13 on this storm. Low level rotation is 55 knots, base is 14,000 feet, depth is 21,000 feet. At this time, I'm going to swap over to GR2 so we can get some 3D rotation on these storms. You see here, this has got a TVS marker on this storm that we're just looking at right there, and there is a small hook trying to form. If you look at the storm relative right here, you see the green and red inside this blue color. There's where it's probably the rotation is right there. I'm looking at in this red mark area, this area right here, I'm looking at possibly about 100-mile-an-hour gate-to-gate shear. Well, 100 knot gate-to-gate shear. We're gonna put up the 3D on this right here right now. and look at it. You see how the storm is kind of like stair stepped up. There's a rotation, should be coming up. There's a lot of rotation inside this. Still a lot of rotation in these storms. Tornado warning. I advise tornado warning has been issued for this area. Stand by. Let me get it pulled up. At 7:53 p.m. Central Daylight Time, the National Weather Service in Topeka has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Geary County in east central Kansas, west central Wabaunsee County in east central Kansas until 8:30 Central Daylight Time. At 7:52 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 8 miles southeast of Ogden, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. Radar has indicated tornado and 2 inches of hail in diameter. This dangerous storm will be near Volland around 8:25 Central Daylight Time. Includes Interstate 70 between mile markers 310 and 314. Take cover immediately. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. We're going to go look at this again under 3D. I'm going to try to get a closer view of it. Like I said, we were just looking at it when it went tornado warn. There's the rotation they're seeing. You see the green and the blue. Right here, you see a lot of this rotation, how it's well defined. It's not little splotches. Areas of rotation. These are well defined areas of rotation. That's what prompted the tornado warning. We're looking down on the rotation this moment. You see how it's how it's moving. I'm gonna play the rotation step by step. As it moves through. That's the latest scan of this rotation. Do you see how it moves? All right. Still a TVS on this at 22.2. So it's a large area of rotation in this tornado warning. I'm gonna go over to WSP3 while we look at this. Swap it over to correlation coefficient before I pull it up to see if there's anything on it. So y'all just bear with me. I'm gonna let y'all watch GR2 while I pull this up on correlation coefficient. On WSP3, I don't see anything on it at the moment, but I'm gonna leave it pulled up as we watch GR2. I'm gonna change this to to velocity. Notice the meso detection is gone at this time. Here's the base velocity here on this on this tornado warning. I know they've issued a extra severe thunderstorm warning. So, but this right here is a severe tornado warning. So we're gonna keep our eyes on this velocity. Do you see this green right here? That's actually the ground that shows through on this radar. Still waiting to see if I see a well-defined area at the moment. This is the only area I'm thinking it might be. They're calling it a rotation here. See it right there. I can't really confirm that that's it. We're gonna pull up put the 3D here of it again and look at it again. I like this 3D. This 3D, it helps to see if there's really rotation. And if you look at it, you can see the column of rotation as it's rotating here. It's a well defined area of rotation right there. All right. Let's look at this a little bit more in the 3D view. Like I said, we're gonna stay with it. I'm gonna look on WSP3 real quick. I've got it going on correlation coefficient. I don't see anything showing up. Like I said, it's still radar indicated. They have not confirmed um, anything on it as far as a funnel cloud or anything right now. So it's still radar indicated rotation. I'm gonna look again, see if there's any updates on the warning. There's no additional updates on the warning this time. Okay. I'm gonna go to WSP3 and we're gonna pull up the track on this on a couple of these storms real quick and get us a track on these. So let me swap over to WSP3. All right, see if we get a track on this. All right. All right. At 9:20 at 8:22 p.m. this will be in Alta Vista. At 8:56 it'll be in Bushong. At 8:59 it will be in Allen. That is Central Daylight Time for this tornado warning. I said it's still radar indicated. I'll put the storm relative. See, I'm getting a lot of feedback, range folding because it's so close to this other radar at the time. There's a measure detection of 13. Low level rotation is 55 knots. Base height is 14,000 feet. Depth is 21,000 feet on this storm. Yes, there's a good wall cloud there. All right, so KSNT has a live feed on Facebook. Um, they're saying, all right, all right, I'm looking at these storms at the moment. So, okay, I'm gonna go back to reflectivity. If I pause for a minute, I'm sorry. Um, I'm looking at something on another radar, possibly. We got this tornado warning at this time. I'm gonna keep track on it. Sorry for if you hear any pauses. I'm just trying to look deep into the storm. All right, we're gonna go back to GR2. Pull it up. I'm gonna go back to 3D version, 3D view. This is a weird looking storm if you look at it. It just steps up. All right, here's your 3D view of this. There's still a lot of rotation right here. It's column rotation. It's going straight up. It's about 30,000, a little over 30,000 feet. You see the base of some of it is about 2 or 3,000 feet on this storm. And when we look at the 3D, the base reflectivity, you can see how the storm just steps up into the area. It starts off about 25,000 feet and goes up to probably about 40,000 feet, and it is extremely low to the ground. It's You look at the back of it, you can see that's probably a little scud back there, possibly, in the clouds. But look how it's shaped. Right there's kind of a U-shaped storm cloud. There's a new meso detection right there, threshold 23.6. We'll zoom in, try to zoom in a little closer than that one area. You see the updraft right there into the storm in the middle, where it's pulling everything up into the storm right there. This is underneath it. We're going to pull the rotation. That's where the center of the rotation is. If you look right here, when I do the base reflectivity, you see that right there. There's where the rotation is happening, right there. In that little, where it's pulling up, doing the updraft into the storm. There's where the rotation is happening. It's going up, and then it's coming back down. All right. Still severe thunderstorm. Still the tornado warning is going for this area. It still says radar indicated. It has not changed. See how much longer it's got on it? 8:30 Central Daylight Time. So it's got about 27 more minutes on this tornado warning. While we're watching it, I'm gonna go over this other severe thunderstorm warning that's just north of Topeka. At 7:55 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm warning was issued for western Shawnee County in east central Kansas, eastern Pottawatomie County in northeastern Kansas, southwestern Nemaha County in northeastern Kansas, Jackson County in northeastern Kansas, southeastern Marshall County in northeastern Kansas until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:55 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over Onaga, moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. 2-inch hail at 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts were indicated with radar. Locations include Holton, Rossville, St. Mary's, Silver Lake, Onaga, Hoyt, Mayetta, Emmett, Denison, Circleville, Delia, Corning, Soldier, Havensville, Vermilion, Wheaton, Willard, Lillis, and Panawanna Reservation, Interstate 70 between mile markers 346 and 349. Torrential rainfalls are occurring with these storms and may lead to flash flooding. Turn around, don't drown. If you see flooded areas, do not drive through them. Turn around. We have a new threshold TVS on this storm of a 24.1. It's what I've been on. I thought it was on GR2. I'm sorry. I just looked over and realized I was showing y'all GR WSP3 and I've been looking at it on GR2. Now we got GR2 back. I'm sorry, people. That was my fault. I apologize for that. Now we'll look at this again on GR2. Show you the rate. Let me go over this again, since y'all didn't get to see it a while ago. We'll look at the back of this storm on 3D. I'm going to zoom in right here. Do you see in this area is where the rotation is happening? It's rotating right in this area. You see the updraft right there. You see it trying to drop right here. See the updraft back here. And when I pull up the rotation, you'll see where it's at. There we go. Like I said, that's the back of the storm again. There's the rotation on this tornado warning. This is why they issued this tornado warning. It's because how defined this area of rotation was. We're looking at the top of the storm at this moment. Now we're going south of it. We're just spinning around this tornado warning at this moment in 3D to let everybody see how 3D does, how the 3D does. Alright, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You notice they kind of shortened the tornado warning area at the moment. They do that because of the area has moved out of other areas, and there's no, once it moves out of a certain area, they cut that area off because the threat of the tornado has moved. But you see right here with a little light area of green. Let me zoom in really good here. You see this on base velocity, and right here on storm relative. This area is what's rotating. Sometimes these TVS markers don't catch up to where the actual rotation is on these storms. But like I said, right there's your rotation, how it's rotating around. Almost 1 inch, almost 3/4 inch held around this little area right here. TVS is still a 24.1, 1.8 at 22,112 feet, 1.6 at 18,047, a 1.8 at 14,518 feet, 2.2 at 12,138. If you just notice, the TVS moved right where I said that rotation was. You had to catch up with it. There's where that rotation is. It's got a rating of 3.3 at 10,702 feet. Then it goes to 1.2 at 6,615 feet. 1.2 at 1,912 feet. 1.2 at 1,296 feet. And a 1.1 of 859 feet. This area of rotation is very low, only less than 1,000 feet off the ground. I'm gonna look at while we're watching GR2. I'm gonna pull up WSP3 over here, and I'm gonna see if there's anything showing up on correlation coefficient. Let it scan a couple times, and if it does show something when I'm looking at it, we'll go to back to WSP3. But I want to pull. You see how bright this green is, especially right in here. I want to show you all this. In the ratings that they're showing, the 1.8, 1.6, is the levels of the rotation in the tilts. All right, we're gonna go right there. It's a small area that I'm showing you for a reason. You see it right there. That's where the rotation is. We'll see if we see anything low to the ground on the 3D. We really don't, unless that's what they're looking at. Let's swap over. Now I didn't get much of a cut through on the 3D. I didn't go that big on it. But if you see right here, you see how low it is right there. That's that low. That lowest rating was 894 feet on this tornado warning. And then it goes up. Right here you see almost 30,000 feet in the storm. I don't know if they're going to extend it any further or not, but it is becoming more well-defined area right there of rotation. You can see it by the light pink and red with the green. There's also some more over here on this side that's coming through, trying to make another area of rotation. I'm getting probably 100 mile an hour gate to gate, 100 knot gate to gate shear over here to the right of this TVS marker. Right here it's showing about 100 knot gate to gate shear around this area of rotation. You see how tight it has gotten. I'm going to change this side over to base reflectivity. See, you don't see the hook is back here, but since I'm on this radar site, I'm going to change. It's getting too close to that radar. We'll try to figure out which one I'm going to use. I'm going to use KICT, which is the Wichita, Kansas radar, because once it gets close to that radar, we may get some bad feedback, and I'd rather get a good feedback on a storm. We may get some range folding in this one a little bit, but we're getting so close to the radar site, I want to get a good reading on these storms. Hopefully we won't get any but if you see the storm relative on this one, they may let this expire or they may extend it because the storm is moving out of the warned area. The rotation is trying to move out of the warning area. And if it moves out of the warned area, usually they cancel the storms, the thunderstorm warning, or they extend it. You see it? Still going to 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Which where I'm at right now, it's 9:30 p.m. Alright, I'm going to look, see if we got any other warnings. This is the only tornado warning we have at this moment. But I'm depending on my radar, our radar team that's in here. If there's any other warnings or anything, just let me know. I'm keeping an eye on them. But if there is another tornado warning, please keep me posted in this area. I'm kind of watching this storm in Topeka right now. I'm gonna go back to WSP3 and do a um, confirmed. Never mind. This has just got confirmed. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado. They just issued a new tornado warning for South Wabash County in East Central Kansas until 9 p.m. At 8:17 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a confirmed tornado, repeat, a confirmed tornado was located near Volland, moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. This damaging tornado was confirmed by weather spotters and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Tornado will be near Volland at 8:25 Central Daylight Time. To repeat, a tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. It said it just got observed by storm spotters. It's the tornado. There you see it right there. You see the rotation right here where the green and red is in this area. There's where the tornado would be. At this moment, I'm looking at probably about 110 mile an hour gate to gate shear in this area. We're going to pull up the 3D and look at it right here. Like I said, this is a confirmed tornado. This area of the storm is about 10,000 feet off the ground, with with the top of the storm over 50,000 feet. There's your tornado. There's your the tornado that they see at this moment. There's the 3D of that tornado. All right. You see the rotation at this time in 3D. We're going to go above the storm like we always do. We're going to look at it. You see how it goes, how it's moving, how defined this rotation is over the other rotations we've seen before. It didn't say how long it was on the ground. They just said it was on the ground. It was confirmed. There it is right there. Um, at 112 UTC, which is 8:12 Eastern Daylight Central Daylight Time, 7 miles west northwest of Volland in Gary County, Kansas. A storm chaser had a couple reports of a brief touchdown of a tornado. So, like I said, it was 7 miles west northwest of Volland. You see the tornado indicator there, showing that was a tornado confirmed. Like I said, it was a storm spotter that confirmed this tornado. I'm gonna look and see if we see anything on. I don't see anything on WSP3 at the moment of a WSP3 at the moment under correlation coefficient. I'm gonna try to get a track on this tornado. I'm gonna swap over to WSP3 real quick to show you the track on this tornado warning. It says at 9:13 p.m. it'll be near Allen, at 9:21 p.m. near Admire. I'm gonna let it run for a couple segments and see if this area right here goes away. Even though it does look like um, doesn't look like any type of debris ball or anything. It looks like radar feedback, radar sweep. But it has been tornado has been observed here at this location. We're watching that. It really does not look like a debris ball at all. I'm gonna. Can I get somebody um, that's got radar scope or something to kind of look at this area also to kind of confirm? I always like to get a second opinion on things. I know what I'm looking at, but it's always good to get a second opinion. I'm also picking up on GR2. It's getting trying to form another hook right there. If I get somebody to look on, see if they get a better look on it also for a possible debris. Like I said, we're looking looking on different sites, three different radars. I'm seeing about the same thing in this area right here on the three radars I have at the moment. Yeah, thanks, Nikki. Like I said, I got three different radars and I'm seeing the same thing. And I'm going to see if this is a possible debris ball. Um, the good thing about GR2 and GR3, the layout behind them uh, is all satellite view radar, satellite view from the ground. And from here, it looks a lot like farmland, open land. But there's always can be houses in this area because this is a lot of farmland. Um, I'm gonna swap over to GR2 real quick. GR3, I want to show you what I'm talking about. See, GR3s gives you like a satellite view of this tornado, of the land. Okay, thank you, Sneaky. But we're looking here at GR3 and GR2 same way. The overlay of the radar is overlaid over a satellite image of the ground. So you can see that there's farmland, there's possible houses right here. There's a little farm here and one right there. So this is moving over a rural area, but there is homes in this area. Bunch of farmers. I'm gonna swap back to GR2 and follow it through GR2 and see if it's you see it's starting to get a little bit of a hook right here again. I'm gonna put this on storm relative, get our correlation coefficient. I'm gonna pull up this area right here where I see the greatest velocity. That way we see it on see it. Look at the cloud structure right here. There's still a lot. There's a rotation right there in the 3D view. You see the rotation. Um, if y'all were trying to send a link for a JR, if you're trying to send a link to the for a webcam, send it to Miss Wildest and have her check it out. I don't want to put anything on here that might be copyrighted. Let her look at it, and if it's not, I can pull it up when she sends me the link. Um, okay, I post Miss Wildest. Can you check that link for anything that might be copyrighted? If it's another YouTube channel, I'm not able to show it, but I will gladly show if it's not. If it's a news channel, I think we'll be okay to show it. Okay, I won't broadcast it. Okay, never mind. That's good. We'll look at it afterwards. I'll look at it after the live stream. All right. Yeah, you see the 3D at this moment right here. It is now at around 10,000 feet up to almost 50,000 feet on rotation. And you see the green and red right there in storm relative velocity. I'm going to change this side over here to base velocity to show you. You can see it. There's that rotation right there. There's what we were looking at in the 3D view on this. See, it went away on this latest scan, but it's still showing a little bit right there on the storm relative. We'll let it keep scanning to see what we have. This is near KTWX radar site. We are currently using KICT out of Wichita, Kansas. Um, all right, thank y'all. I won't use it. Thank you, Sneaky, for checking it. JR, I appreciate you showing it on otherwise. Um, like I said, we're waiting on another scan to see what it shows. I'm gonna play it a little bit. I'm actually gonna let you watch it. See how it rotations right there. Got a little fast on the rotation. I'll do it frame by frame. There you go. All right. Like I said, nothing else has been confirmed on this except for the weather spotters confirmed it earlier. There's no update on it. Um, and the tornado warning still goes until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So they're saying until 9 p.m. in this area, there's a chance for a tornado. If a tornado was observed by weather spotters. Hope y'all didn't hear my phone ring. I had it on um I got it on vibrate, but somehow it came through my headset. I don't. I'm gonna look. Make sure we. All right, got another tornado warning in New York. Stand by 1 second. I'm gonna change over to that one while we're in GR2. And I'm don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on this tornado warning also, so I can flip back and forth while we're looking at GR2 on this tornado warning. I still watching the other tornado warning, so I got both of them pulled up on one's on GR3, one's on GR2, so I'm always on top of this. You see the rotation right here on this storm, this tornado warning. We're looking at the base velocity on the left and storm reflectivity on the right. We're going to pull the 3D up, looking at this area right here. See if we see any. Very low, not as well defined. If you look, remember the Kansas tornado is well defined. This is not as defined as the Kansas tornado warning. It does have the rotation. You do see the areas of rotation in this storm. We're going to read it. I'm going to read it to you. A tornado remains in effect until 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for northwestern Delaware County. At 9:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles south of Sydney or 10 miles north of Deposit, moving east at 35 miles per hour. This is radar indicated rotation. This dangerous storm will be near Sydney Center around 9:45 Eastern Daylight Time, East Sydney around 9:50 Eastern Daylight Time, Walton and Franklin around 9:55 Eastern Daylight Time. I'm just checking the other tornado warning real quick to see what's going on with it. See if there's any updates. They have not updated anything on it at the moment. It's still saying confirmed. I did see maybe one little spot. We're going to go to WSP3 on this one, this tornado warning. Um, Once these tornado warnings are gone away, they have issued a new tornado watch. I'll read about it in a minute, but right now we got 2 tornado warnings. And those are more important than reading about a watch at this time. Like I said, we're going to WSP3 at this moment to look at it on this second tornado warning. If you notice, this is a trying to make a bow in this storm. See, it's moving to the northeast. We're going to get a track on this. See if I can mimic the arrow. Okay, here we go. Areas that could be affected by this tornado: 9:39 p.m. Eastern. All these times are Eastern Daylight Time. Unadilla, Walton at 9:46, Franklin at 9:46, Otega 9:48, Delhi 9:58, 10:12 Hobart, Stamford 10:16, Middleburg at 10:35. That's the areas that could be affected by this tornado and their times. There is a meso detection on the storm. Meso detection of 4. Low level rotation is 29 knots. Base height is 2,000 feet. Depth is 5,000 feet. Okay. I'm going to pull up the base velocity on this storm. Then I'll pull up reflectivity. Let it get a scan on it. Alright. This is your base velocity on this storm. Right now I'm looking at some 50 mile per hour wind gusts just south of the tornado warned area. So these are gusty winds in front of this already possible tornado. Go to storm relative, look at that, see if we can see anything on storm relative. See just a little bit this light green around this red. That could be the possible rotating part of the storm. I'm still watching this storm on GR3 that's in Kansas. So don't worry, I have not forgot about that tornado observed either. I'm still trying to keep an eye on it on both sides. That way I'm keeping everyone informed on this. May not be able to show it on the screen, but I'm actually watching it on my side to let everybody be updated on this storm. Okay. Still says radar indicated. See if they got any updates on it. At this time, it still remains in effect till 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for this area. It's still radar indicated. It has not been confirmed at this moment. Since it has not been confirmed, I'm going to swap over to GR2 and look at it. You see here, this is a long line of severe weather. This area was placed in a slight risk for severe weather tonight by the Storm Prediction Center. Now it's just a marginal risk for this area in the latest update. The Kansas area is in an enhanced risk this time with 2 tornado watches. I'm going to swap back over to the Kansas City area and see if we go back to KICT and check on this area where this tornado warning is also. If you see behind here, you see the orange, the yellow, and the green. The orange is your enhanced risk for severe weather tonight. The yellow is your slight risk. The green is your marginal, and the light green that's over Garden City is a thunderstorm risk. They just issued a new tornado warning on this storm here. At 8:42 Central Daylight Time, National Weather Service in Topeka issued a tornado warning for west central Wabanesi County in east central Kansas until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 8:42 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Volland, moving northeast at 10 miles per hour. tornado and hail up to 2 inches in diameter. This is radar indicated at this time. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain mainly over rural areas of west central Wabanese County. But like we know, even though this is rural areas, there's also farmland also in these areas. So you got two tornado warnings side by side. One is confirmed earlier, and one is radar indicated here in this area. I'm going to swap back over to GR2. And we're going to look at this other tornado warning here. See, we got two TVS markers. We got a TVS marker right there. Threshold of 25 on this storm. So this is still capable of producing a lot of a TVS with this warning. If you look at storm relative and also the base velocity, you got the green and red in this area. This is where your rotation is occurring. Then back here on this storm, there's another area of rotation right there on this tornado warning. I'm going to pull the 3D on the rear tornado warning for right now, and then we'll go to the front one. This is not that high of a storm. You notice the height is probably about 20,000 feet. See what the rotation is at this time. We can see the rotation. There's the rotation that they're seeing. It is very low rotation because it's not that high. The storm is not that high. It's about 15,000 feet at this moment. As we're looking at this rotation, and it's probably about 2,000 off the ground, 2,000 feet off the ground. Sorry, I had to yawn a minute. Guess I need another Dr. Pepper. You hear me crack up a Dr. Pepper right now. Like I said, if I'm gonna be here all night, I'm gonna be here all night. My main concern is make sure everybody's safe in these areas. We're gonna look right here in this thunderstorm in 3D. You can see the updraft on this storm right there, and it's just hit the top of the storm. We're gonna look at the rotation. You notice how the rotation bends in this storm, bends in this severe thunderstorm, this tornado warning area. This was where the tornado was confirmed earlier by weather spotters in this tornado warning. We're going to look at it from the top and look down. You see it there. You see the rotation as it's going up. How well defined it is. And I am still just let everyone know, I'm not forgotten about this other tornado warning in New York. I am in the Pennsylvania, the New York area, the Delaware County, New York. I'm still watching it. If you're in that area, please seek shelter. It's still radar indicated. It has not been confirmed by anyone at this moment. It's still radar indicated. We're going to pull up WSP3 correlation coefficient on these two tornado warnings down here. I want to look, see if I see any type of possible debris balls. Before I swap over to it, I want to keep it on this. Y'all are going to be watching GR2 while I check WSP3 real quick to see if I see anything. Still a threshold of 25 on this TVS marker. Still got your little area possibly back here on this tornado warning. It's still very possible in this back area back here where that may be some rotation going on, where it's very bright. Again, in this area right here is where we're seeing the possible rotation on this storm. We'll pull the 3D up real quick right here. Again, this storm is very low to the ground, starting out at like 10,000 feet. It steps up to about 28,000 feet. You can look at the rotation. It's still well defined in this area on this tornado warning. They shortened the tornado confirmed warning up a little bit because it has moved out of this area. I'm just zooming out real quick to look at something. All right. Tornado was sighted again just now at 8:43 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 6 miles southeast of Vollen. A trained spotter has reported a tornado. Let me read this to you. A confirmed tornado was located 8 miles southeast of Vollen, moving southeast at 10 miles per hour. This is a damaging tornado. Weather spotters have confirmed this tornado. So their spotters out there are riding along, confirming these tornadoes as they go. Repeat, tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Move to your basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from fly debris. Tornadoes are extremely difficult to see and confirm at night. Do not wait till you see or hear the tornado. Take cover now. Some of these tornadoes with these storms are possibly rain wrapped. That's why we probably have not got them confirmed as quickly as possible tonight, because they are rain wrapped. And if you look right here, this is probably the area that they're seeing the rotation the tornado may have been coming from. Is this area right here where you got the bright green and red. Remember, red is away from radar, green is toward the radar, or vice versa if you're looking at a different view of the radar. Like I said, we're continuing to watch these storms as long as we can. I'm going to check. Alright. Looks like the tornado warning in New York has expired, or they let it expire. But we're going to watch this storm for a little while here because this was confirmed. I'm going to swap over to WSP3 and see if I see anything on correlation coefficient. I'm going to watch it for a second to see if there's anything there while we're looking at GR2. We're looking at the 3D. And you see the updraft here on this storm where it's pulling it up. This is where the updraft and the rotation is around this area at this time. You see it there. You see all the rotations in this severe thunderstorm at this time. I mean, this tornado warning, sorry. In this confirmed tornado warning. That's the rotation that's inside this. This area, especially right here, is probably where they saw the tornado on the ground. As you notice below this area where it's red and green, I mean yellow and green with a blue, this means it made contact to the ground in this area. They just extended a tornado warning for this area on top of the confirmed tornado warning. National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Wabansie County in east central Kansas until 9:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 8:53 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 8 miles west of Eskridge, moving southeast at 10 miles per hour. It's in this tornado warning. It's got rotated radar indicated rotation. But remember, this is coming from a confirmed tornado warning to an area that they just extended the tornado warning. If it gets confirmed, it will be purple also. It says it'll be around Eskridge in 9:30 Central Daylight Time. I'm going to change this over to base reflectivity. You see how close it is to the radar? That's the reason we're not getting that good of a feed. Let me swap over to see how KIC. Let me try KEAX. See if it works a little bit better for us. Give it a second to download. Yes, you see it right here. Just got a second confirmation on this tornado warning here. Law enforcement, sheriff's deputies report tornado on the ground at 8:42 Central Daylight Time. Law enforcement has confirmed. Sheriff deputy reports tornado on the ground in this area. So this is a dangerous situation here in this area. See, there's a small, trying to make somewhat of a hook here. This is probably where the inflow is on this tornado. We're sitting here watching this at this time. Still watching this area right here. I'm going to pull up 3D on it. Actually, I'm going to change the storm relative, the base velocity. You see it right there on tilt 2 on base velocity. There's tilt 3, tilt 4. Tilt 4, you're getting into a lot of range folding in this area at this time. We don't want to go any higher on that. We're going to go storm relative, tilt 1. Storm relative, tilt 2. You see it right here. You see the rotation in this area right here going through the tilts. Tilt 3, tilt 4. There's the rotation going on right there. Yes, it's over KTWX. That's why I had to change to KEAX, Kansas City, Missouri. Um, Due to the fact that it was too close to the radars there. You see it really good on tilt 1 right there. Um, like I said, it's been confirmed. It's now in the area. The confirmed tornado warning has been lifted or let expire, but we still have the radar indicated tornado warning at this time. So we only have one tornado warning at this time in this area. I'm going to check WSP3 for correlation coefficient to see what we have. See if I see anything at this moment. Looking at WSP3 at this moment on the correlation coefficient around Eskridge, I don't see anything, but I am picking up a meso detection of 8. Low level rotation velocity is at 45 knots. Base height is 11,000 feet. Depth is 18,000 feet on this tornado warning. Like I said, you see the rotation right there in this area. I'm going to pull up the 3D in this area. This storm, remember earlier when we were looking at these storms in 3D, how low to the ground they were. Now they're kind of coming up off the ground a little bit more. Now they're almost 10,000 feet. Earlier they were less than 5,000 feet off the ground. Here's your rotation that's in this storm. We're going to look at that 3D. See this big blob right there of rotation in this area. You still got some areas right here, the green. I'm trying to zoom out from it. That way you get a better view of the rotation area in this storm. And I'll zoom in. You notice the rotation is probably about 10,000 feet, and it carries up about 50,000, I would say. It may not be connected, any type of rotation connected in one straight area, but that's how it is right there. That's showing it right there. Like I said, we're still waiting, looking at it. They see if there's anything else, any other new reports on this tornado warning. I said a train spotter and a sheriff's department both confirmed this a tornado on the ground earlier in this tornado warning. I'm just looking at, if I go silent for a second, I don't mean to. I'm trying to get up to date on all these storms. That way, if something changes in another area, I'm on top of it. Because my thing is to keep everybody weather aware and on top of these storms when it happens. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at other radars, make sure nothing's changed on this. Um, Also, if there's any other warnings that we need to be aware of, like I said, once this tornado warning goes away, we don't have any more. I'm going to explain the tornado watches and everything. Um, and explain if there's any meso discussions, any other severe warnings, or anything. There is a meso detection on this storm of an 8 now. Low level rotation velocity is 45 knots. Low level delta velocity is 48 knots. Base is 5,000 feet. Depth is 20,000 feet. Maximum rotation velocity is 67 knots. Height is 10,000 feet. And the meso strength is 6775. But these storms are moving very slow at this time. So there's possibly some flash flooding going on in this area. Along with these storms, since they are moving slow. I'm going to change this back to storm relative velocity. I'm going to go tilt 2. And you see the area right here where we got some possible rotation in this storm. Yeah, there's some range folding in this for being at KEAX. But I can't use KTWX because it's on top of it. Would not get a good feed from the radar site. And KICT at the moment is too far away. There would be a lot of range folding out of KICT. There is another one. There was another small radar site down here, TICT, but it's not that good of a radar. It's on a short distance. It's possibly a airport radar system. That's why I'm using this one. Trying to stay out of a lot of this range folding, which is the purple that you see here. That's all range folding. Probably another tornado warning being issued soon. Whereabouts, JR? You're thinking which storm? The one just north of Alma? One Omega? Alma? You see, this is going over. This one severe thunderstorm warning is over Topeka, Kansas at this moment. I hope this tornado warning goes away for a few minutes. Um, but here's looking at Eskridge in the velocity mode. You see this right here? This is the rotation that they're looking at. I'll try to see what you're looking at. You think about Louisville possibly with this area of rotation here that might be coming through? I think that's just radar scans on those. Or you think around Emmett, we're just making a little small hook right here, trying to make a small hook. Okay, you went back to KTMX. Okay. Yeah, I don't want. I can't swap back to that radar right now. Um, I'm gonna leave it where I'm at. I'm not getting that bad of range folding in this part of the storm where they say the tornado warning is, but they did issue a new severe thunderstorm warning in this area until 9:45 at 9:09 p.m. Central Daylight Time. A new severe thunderstorm warning was issued for southwestern Wabansie County in east central Kansas until 9:45 Central Daylight Time. At 9:07, a severe thunderstorm was located 4 miles east of Volland, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. This has ping pong sized hail and 60-mile wind gusts that were indicated by radar. Locations include Alma, McFarland, Patsico, Volland, Interstate 70 between mile markers 329 and 334. The tornado warning still is in effect for the Wabansie County. Still have a tornado warning here. It's still showing radar indicated at this moment. And it expires at 9:30 Central Daylight Time for this area. I'm going to zoom in again. I'm going to pull up 3D this area. There's the warning at this moment. As you see, this is the rotation that they're looking at. In the 3D mode. I hit the wrong button. Give me a minute here. I'm going to check WSP3 and see if I see anything on correlation coefficient this time on this tornado warning. If I do spot something, I will bring it up. I want to let it run a couple scans as I'm looking at it. And I'm watching GR2 also. So I'm multitasking over here. Make sure we keep everybody safe. But if you see here, this is a bright area of rotation right there. Even though it's mixed in with a little bit of the range folding. And the storm relative velocity on this tornado warning at this moment. There's a meso detection on this. There's two of them. One of them's an 8. The other one's a 7 and one's a 5 on this severe thunderstorm warning. On this tornado warning. I'm gonna swap over to GR3 and show you what I'm talking about in this area. If you look here in GR3, I'm still using KTWX on this warning now. You got a um, meso detection here, 37 knots, low level rotation velocity, low level delta velocity is 42, the base is 10,000 feet, the depth is 22,000 feet, the maximum rotation velocity, is 64 knots, the height is 22,000 feet, and the strength is 5151. I just noticed to issue another severe thunderstorm warning. Here's a rotation, a 5. Here, meso detection of 5. Alright, here, new severe thunderstorm warning was issued at 9:14 Central Daylight Time for southeastern Riley County in northeastern Kansas, northern Wabansie County in east central Kansas, southeastern Potawatomi County is northeastern Kansas until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 9:13 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over Louisville, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour, ping pong sized hail, and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts were indicated by radar. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations include Wamego, St. Mary's, St. George, Maple Hill, Pasico, Bellevue, and Louisville. Also, Interstate 70 between mile markers 318 and 333. Still see the rotation here on the bottom of this storm. Is tornado warning area. I'm gonna swap back over to GR2 real quick and see if we get a 3D view of that tornado, that warning area where the rotation was. Here's your storm. Here's your base reflectivity view of the storm. Here's your rotation that's going through. Still very similar to before, but now you notice it's a little bit of yellow and blue. You see it's a little bit more defined at this moment in that area. We'll show you the storm relative velocity. You back up a little bit. The base velocity, you see the green and red right there. Let me see if I get. Alright, hold on a minute. Close this. Alright, this is a delayed report by social media. At 9:43 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 2 miles east northeast of Wallen, public reported a tornado that lasted about 15 minutes. So this was the new report that just popped up on GR2, stating that it lasted about 15 minutes. It was a delayed report. I'm going to see if I get all this in one big area. And we'll look at this all together. We'll look at the storm relative. And you see the bright green here. If I look at it like this, you see the two areas of bright green and red. It's here and there. We'll pull up the rotation. See, there's now possibly two areas of rotation in this thunderstorm. This this area. You got this area that's where the tornado warning is, and this area where the severe thunderstorm warning is. We're going to look at it from the top. You see how this is yellow right there? I'll get a snack when this tornado warning goes away. We also see we got some flash flood warnings. We expected that to happen with these storms moving very slowly in these areas. They are dumping a lot of rain in the area. And they're reporting almost 3 inch hail around just southwest of Alma. With this severe thunderstorm warning that's behind the tornado warning. Like I said, I'm trying to keep an eye on this storm in case it does continue to stay tornado warning. If they extend it, it's still for another 10 minutes in this area. It's possible they may extend it or they may let it expire. Like I said, I'm sitting here watching it. I'm trying to zoom in on it, keep us going. Um, Keep an eye on this tornado warning. I'm gonna see if there's any other warnings beside tornado warnings beside this one. There's not. Okay. All right, we're gonna swap over to WSV3, and I'm gonna show you the hail size on these warnings. Since they are saying possible 3 inch hail. I'm getting 2 inch hail here in the back of this storm. There's 3 inch, almost 4 inches, 4 inch size hail, 3.9 inch hail. This severe thunderstorm warning here. So you imagine a 4 inch hail coming down is going to do some major destruction to vehicles. It's um, very dangerous, not only to homes, to cars, but also to you as a person and to your animals outside. So if you're in this area, bring in your animals, not only your cats and dogs, but also if you got any farm animals. Try to get them somewhere where they're protected from this large hail. Um, in this tornado warning here, we're picking up maybe 2 inch size hail, 2.5 at the most. Like I said, right here, we're still picking up 3.7, 3.9, almost 4 inch hail right here in this severe thunderstorm. Just southwest east of Alma. Wish I could get a town name. It's just northeast of Alta Vista. It's where this hail is almost 4 inches at the moment. and you can look at it right there. This issued a new tornado warning. All right. National Weather Service in Topeka has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Wabasie County in east central Kansas, northwestern Osage County in east central Kansas, northeastern Lyon County in east central Kansas until 9:54 Central Daylight Time. At 9:21 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was capable of producing a tornado. Was located 4 miles south of Eskridge, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. A second possible tornado, listen, a second possible tornado was located 3 miles west southwest of Eskridge, moving at 10 miles per hour. Tornado and half-inch dollar-sized hail was rotated, radar indicated. This dangerous storm will be near Harveyville at 9:45 Central Daylight Time and the Kansas Turnpike mile markers 144 to 160. With these two possible tornadoes, you need to take cover immediately. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. If you're on the turnpike or anywhere in that area, do not stop underneath an underpass. You're blocking a interstate, a roadway that is needed to be for passage through by not only vehicles but also any emergency vehicles that need to get through there to get to these areas. So do not ever stop under a underpass. Overpass. You take shelter in a ditch or a substantial building if you get near one. Do not try to outrun these tornadoes. These are probably rain-wrapped tornadoes in this area, which makes them. It's nighttime. They're possibly rain-wrapped. They're hard to notice, hard to see, and hard to confirm. So you will be on this tornado, see this tornado at the last second if you try to outrun it. Um, like I said, get to an interior building, interior part of your home. If you have a motorcycle helmet, put on a motorcycle helmet because they will protect you, not only your head, but your face, to keep things from debris hitting you in your face. I'm gonna have to get up and walk around a minute. Um, I will be watching this on my phone, but I'll be right back. Would y'all let me leave it on this or GR2? Because if it gets on GR2 and it gets confirmed, it will actually change color to purple. I'm gonna change it over to GR2. That way, if I'm out, I can come back if it gets confirmed. But I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. Hey, can you hear me now? I just noticed it went confirmed outside and came back in. Ooh, that was a nice run. All right, I see the new tornado warning. I'm gonna read it. Hold on one second. Let me exit this out of my phone. Like I said, I took it outside with me to keep an eye on this storm. All right, I see we got a new tornado warning. Okay, new confirmed tornado warning at this time. A confirmed tornado was located 7 miles east of Alta Vista, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. Weather spotters confirmed this tornado. It's until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time for northeastern Morris County in central Kansas, east central Kansas, southeast southwestern Wabanasi County in east central Kansas, northwestern Lyon County in east central Kansas. Like I said, weather spotters did confirm this tornado. This, even though this tornado will remain over mainly rural areas of northeastern Morris, southwestern Wabanasi, and northwestern Lyon counties, still take cover if you're in this area. This may be a lot of farmland, but there is people near this farmland. Hey, Kathleen. Um, so please take cover if you know anyone in this area. Please take cover and let them know this is a dangerous tornado on the ground. Like I said, public report of a tornado visible with lightning flashes. Again, tornadoes are hard to see at night. This was only visible with lightning flashes at the time of the report. So, as we said before, tornadoes are hard to spot. This is possibly rain wrapped, and the only way they did see this was through lightning flashes. We have a TVS of 25 on this tornado warned storm. We still have this one near Harveyville with a TVS of 22.5. I'm gonna pull the 3D up on this tornado warning here, this storm here, and see what we got. Look at the 3D on it, on this confirmed tornado. See, this storm is very low to the ground. It starts off less than 10,000 feet and goes up to about 40,000 feet. So it's getting some lift. It's lifting at this time. It's got the convection in this area and it's just growing. The convection is what fuels these storms. There's your 3D rotation in this storm. Even though it's a lot of jumbled rotation, it was confirmed by public. It may be a large rotating tornado or a possible large um, rotating wall cloud that actually may have spun a small tornado in the lightning when it flashed. Okay, I'll swap over to KTWX. I think I'm still on that tornado at that radar site, but I will see if I can swap over to it. But this right here is your 3D of this tornado. This area back here, you see the red, the light red in this storm? That's probably may have been right where it touched down for a moment. I'm gonna let it play for a minute. See if I see anything on storm relative. We still have this tornado warning that is still in effect until 9:45 Central Daylight Time. for this area. It says it'll be around Harveyville at 9:40 Central Daylight Time. So right now, if you're in Harveyville, you see that the TVS marker is in your area. I am on KTWX radar site. I'm gonna pull up WSV3 real quick on my side and look at the correlation coefficient to see if we see any type of debris balls before I pull it up on the screen. I'm gonna let it run a couple rotation scans before I let it swap over to it. I'm gonna watch this area, and yeah, there is a notch where the inflow is coming in right here. Right there's the rotation in this Harveyville storm. You see it there. I'm going to pull the 3D up on this area. I'm going to back away a little bit. I'm going to go rotation. That is a massive area of rotation around Harveyville right now. This is possibly rain wrapped in Harveyville. Hopefully it stays over areas without residents, without homes. But this is the rotation in Harveyville at this moment. It has not been confirmed yet. Like I said, these are more likely rain-wrapped tornadoes, making them hard to see at night, such as this one was reported. The only way they saw it was by lightning. The lightning flashed, and that's how they noticed it. We have 2 TVS markers on this one confirmed tornado warning. One is a threshold of 25, and the other is also a threshold of 25. This threshold here is stronger, noted by the red color, and it's lower at 646 feet. The top is at 25,389 feet. This one, the lowest, is at 2,329 feet. The top of it is 18,806 feet. This is a 22 threshold of 22 on this TVS. The lowest level is at 3,400 feet. The top is at 49,000 feet. I'm looking to see if I see any type of possible debris balls at this time on correlation coefficient on WSV3. If I notice something, I will swap over to it to let you know if I let you see it. Notice there's an inch and 3/4 hail with inch and a half hail, inch and a quarter hail with this one storm around Eskridge. You see the areas of rotation right here on storm relative. I'm gonna put the base velocity, base reflectivity over here on base velocity, and see. I'm gonna put it on tilt 2. I'm gonna scan. Okay. The tornado warning for Harveyville has been. They let it expire, but we still have this confirmed tornado warning until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. For over here, this is still going till 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Like I said, this one was confirmed by spotters, and it did say that it was seen through lightning, is the way it was seen. But you see here, there's still a heavy area of rotation right over Harveyville. This may go back tornado warned in a minute if it keeps with the rotation. We're on tilt 2 on this, on base velocity. I'm going to put storm relative on tilt 2 also. You notice on tilt 2, which is 0.9 degrees from the radar site, you see the green here in the storm relative. You see it here, the green pixels around the red. There's still a TVS back here of 25 is still going. I don't see at this moment, I do not see any type of debris ball, which is good, but it could be moving over a area of that that's not populated. It may be just like cornfields or some kind of fields that it's not picking up debris, but it can still be there. New tornado warning just issued. National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Wabasie County in east central Kansas, northwestern Osage County in east central Kansas, northeastern Lyon County in east central Kansas until 10:15 Central Daylight Time. At 9:45 Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Harveyville, moving east at 25 miles per hour. This was tornado at half dollar size hail was indicated by radar. This storm will be near Burlingame around 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Osage City around 10:15 Daylight Time. The Kansas Turnpike between mile markers 143 and 161 is also in the path of this tornado warning. All right. I'm trying to glance over to look around real quick. All right. Like I said, on this tornado confirmed storm, it was confirmed by visible with lightning flashes. They just issued a flash flood warning for this area. For east central Gary County in central Kansas, southeastern Riley County in northeastern Kansas, Wabasie County in east central Kansas, and south central Pottawatomie County in northeastern Kansas until 1:45 a.m. Central Daylight Time. 9:46, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Up to 3 inches of rain have already fallen. Flash flooding is expected to begin shortly. Some locations will experience flooding include Manhattan, Alma, Eskridge, Ogden, St. George, McFarland, Harveyville, Patsico, and Vollen. Additional rainfalls of 1 to 3 inches are expected in this warned area. Also, Interstate 70 between mile marker 307 and 335. We've now got a new TVS on this storm, a 23.2. Top rotation velocity is at 24,870 feet. The lowest is at 1,522 feet. I'm gonna look at GR2, get a 3D view of it. It's still going. As long as these storms still produce, I'm still gonna be here. My job is keep you safe throughout these storms, or keep you notified of what's going on. This is pulling up the rotation in this storm at this moment. By looking at this, I believe it's more of a rotating wall cloud in this area. Because way it looks on the rotation coming around, it's probably a rotating wall, large area of rotating wall cloud that may have dropped a small tornado this time earlier. Here's another TVS marker on this tornado warning of 25. These storms are not letting up in this area. They've reduced the size of the confirmed tornado warning because it's moved out of the area behind it and moved into a different area. I'm going to pull up the base reflectivity here to look at the storm. You can see a little bit of inflow on this storm right here where it's going in. The winds are being pulled in at this time in this area. We get a little bit bigger there. We got a little bit better view of it. They also just shortened the severe thunder, the other tornado radar indicated warning, because it's moved out of the area behind it of Eskridge. It's moving into Harveyville, Burlingame, Miller, Osage City. If you know anyone near Allen, Admire, or Bushong, let them know they have a tornado warning headed their way. We've got a new meso detection where this inflow is at this moment. Meso detection is at threshold of 22.5. So it's still getting a nice inflow into this tornado warned area. And that's keeping it going. That's feeding this tornado. I'm going to get a 3D view of the hook area where the inflow is coming in. See if we can see it from the top. You really can't tell it where the inflow is coming in at. It's right there. If you look underneath, there's where the inflow is coming in around this area. You see the up where it's pulling up here, and there's the inflow coming right up underneath it, right there. I'm going to get the 3D rotation at this time. Once I figure out, there we go. There's still the rotation of this. Like I said, I feel like it's a large rotating wall cloud because of how big this area is of rotation. I'm going to get a bigger zoom on it. Start right there. And see if we see it a little bit better. See if we get all of it in the rotation area. It's so big we really can't. But you see here, let me zoom out a little bit. You see there's a little bit over this area where it's rotating. And you got this area of rotation also. You got over here where it looks like it's a circled area of rotation. That's to the northwest of the storm. We'll pull that up real quick. To the northwest, that would be probably this area, I'm guessing. All right, get another view of it. There's so much rotation we can't get it all on the 3D view. But if you notice the storm, how it's moving up, there's the up, how it's, like I said, right there's where it's getting up, the updrafts here, and this is where it's being fed by the inflow of the wind of the storm. That's where it's getting its inflow. You know, this storm looks to be less than 1,000 feet from the ground, and it goes up to about 50,000 feet. Like I said, Burlingame need to be on the lookout. There's some inflow coming here at this area too. I'm gonna swap over to WSP3 and we're gonna look at that. This area on WSP3. I don't see any nothing on correlation coefficient, but we're gonna look at the reflectivity on it. Let me swap over WSP3 here. See, WSP3 is not showing much of a hook around bush hog. It's showing a meso detection back here of 6, strength of 6, 26 knots on low level rotation. Base level is 11,000 feet. Then there's another meso detection of 5 just outside the tornado warning around Burlingame. Base height is 14,000 feet, depth is 21,000 feet. This area is currently underneath a tornado watch. There's several severe thunderstorm warnings in this area: St. Joseph, Kansas City, Manhattan. Like I said, Manhattan's got not only 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, but also a flash flood warning because these storms are moving at a slow speed and dropping torrential rainfalls in this area. I've been on for 3 hours. I don't feel it. I mean, I'm doing good. I'm feeling okay. As long as I get up, walk around every once in a while, I'm okay. I want to thank everyone that's in here, that's been in here the whole time, helping with this. I know some of you may need to go to bed for work tomorrow. If you need to, I understand. So, um, so if you need to go, that's fine. I'm gonna be here helping everybody else. All right, they just let one of the tornado warnings expire, the one that was confirmed. We still have the radar indicated tornado warning. It's still here in this area. I'm gonna try to get a track on it real quick. All right, this is track of this tornado warning. Burlingame at 10:04, Osage City at 10:13, Linden at 10:20, Olivet at 10:27, Quanimo at 10:28, Melbourne at 10:29, Williamsburg at 10:37, Waverly at 10:40, and Harris at 10:50. That is all um, Central Daylight Time. They keep shortening this radar indicated tornado warning because it is moving out of the areas where it was at. So they go keep shortening the tornado warning because it is moving out of the areas. Hopefully it will we'll put on base velocity. Look at that. Still possible a little bit some range folding in this area. Let me see if I get a different radar. I'm gonna go to KTWX and see if we get a better view of this tornado. Better view without as much range folding. If you notice, the range folding is the purple in the radar. Chance of the storm to hit Selena. Right now, Michael, the storms are west of Selena. I will back out. I mean, they're east of Selena. There's Selena, Kansas at the moment. Um, I'll go to reflectivity, see if there's anything. You may have a little bit coming from Nebraska later tonight, some rain. But right now, I don't see anything coming. None of the severe weather at this moment, even though you are under a tornado watch. Um, but you're underneath a tornado watch until I think midnight Eastern Central Daylight Time. But right now, I don't see anything coming towards Selena. But it's possible later on tonight you may get some rain. Yeah, Selena. Okay, thank you, Jr. I thought it was in the clear for the most part. Exactly, definitely for the severe weather at this time, it is in the clear. Because most of the severe weather is around Kansas City, St. Joseph, Emporia, Topeka, Ottawa, in those areas. But this storm up here that's crossing I-70 right now is starting to get a little bit of a bow to it. If you see here how it's bowing out, there's probably some major winds in this storm. You're welcome. I think this is our third night here in this area. Michael, if you don't mind, I usually don't say this, but appreciate you coming by. Like I said, stay along with me. I'm gonna be up for a while just in case. But right now it does look in the clear. This area of Burlingame, you notice it's got a little bit of inflow right there of the storm. Right there's your meso detection. Low level, strength level 5, low level rotation is 46 knots. Base height is 2,000 feet. Depth is 12,000 feet. So, like I said, it's still a tornado warning. I'm gonna see if there's any updates on it. It's still radar indicated this time. Let me see if it's set to when it says it's going to expire. It still says it's going to expire at 10:15 Central Daylight Time. Right now, it is over Burlingame and headed towards Osage City. I'm gonna swap back over to GR2, pull up the 3D on this storm, and see if we see anything on 3D, especially around this area right here. If you're looking to the southeast, southwest of Burlingame on the storm relative velocity, see this? I want to look at that area right there to see if there's see what kind of rotation we've got. We'll incorporate most of the storm in here. Um, if you notice, this storm is building. It's almost at 50,000 feet. This is your base velocity on this storm. If you notice, this storm, the front of it is like a wedge, and it is growing as it moves into the area. Here's our rotation on this storm. There's still a lot of rotation. I've still got a feeling this is mainly a rotating wall cloud in this area. So this is a lot of area, a lot of rotation with the green and blue. So it's just rotating as it's sitting there. If you're underneath this storm and you look up, which you don't need to be, but if you just look up, you would sit there and watch the entire storm rotate. But if you're in this area, take cover immediately. Even though it's radar indicated, does not mean it cannot drop a tornado. We have a TVS of 19.5 just southeast of Allen, near Admire. That is, trying to figure out what interstate that is. And we have got a TVS now where we're just looking at of not 18.2. Maximum height is 50,000 feet. The lowest is at 2630. So like I said, we were just looking at this area in particular in the 3D version of GR2, showing you right where that rotation was, and there's a TVS that comes up on this storm. I'm gonna look on WSV3 real quick to see if I see any kind of correlation coefficient, see if I see any type of debris ball, in which at this moment I don't. I'm not pulling it up on here until I see something. Thank you, JR, for getting that 335 Kansas Turnpike. I appreciate that. Like I said, this was the area we were watching a while ago. And then you see this area near Admire where it's getting inflow. You see here on Storm Relative the winds that are going to and from the storm, to rotating here in this area. We'll pull this up right now. Look at this storm around Admire and the interstate turnpike. We'll look at this on 3D. If y'all remember earlier, these storms were not this tall. Now they're gaining some convection. Right there's your updraft where the inflow is coming in at. So these storms are gradually getting bigger. Here's your rotation. Again, there's some defined rotation right here in this storm. And right there, but it's still all just a mass area of rotation. It's not just one defined area. It's just a mass area of rotation. As you can look down on it, you'll see how big of the area this is rotating. Like I said, this is possibly still a rotating wall cloud. And there's possibly 1/8 hail there. A severe thunderstorm warning was issued for this area at 9:57 Central Daylight Time until 10:45 Central Daylight Time. Like I said, we're still watching these storms here. So, oops. Still got this one tornado warning though, and that's what we're watching. And if we stop having tornado warnings, I'll go back and overview the tornado watch and the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect. That way, keep you updated on those. So I'm still just looking at these storms, watching them as they progress. All right. At this time, the tornado warning has been removed. I'm going to go to the SPC and look at something. Go over the SPC real quick. Miss Wildest, let me see. You probably got some rain that might be coming in later tonight in your area. Um, Coming from Columbia, depends on which way these storms are moving through. Probably in the early morning hours, you'll probably get some rain out of this system. I say maybe around 6 a.m. Central Daylight Time, 7 a.m. You might be getting rain. All right, like I said, I'm gonna pull up the SPC real quick, and go over the watches and warnings that we have currently in the area. And we do have a mezzo discussion. Sorry if you see a blank screen, it shouldn't be blank long. It should be coming up. There we go. Alright, I'm going to refresh this. This was issued as of 8:06 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Still a tornado risk for the Kansas, Missouri area, mainly over Kansas City. You got a 5% still of tornadoes. This is what it says. There's a probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a point hatched area, 10% greater probability of EF2. So that's what it says here on this about the tornado percentage in this area. Wind percentage. Probability of a damaging thunderstorm winds or wind gust of 50 knots or higher within the 25 miles of a point. In the hatched area, 10% or greater probability of wind gusts 65 knots or greater from that point. You also got a probability of large size hail 2 inch in diameter or larger with this. According to this, the SPC, which is Storm Prediction Center, at 8:06 Central Standard Time, this was issued. Enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms eastern Kansas into western Missouri. There is a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from eastern Wyoming into western Nebraska. Severe thunderstorms are expected to spread southeast through eastern Kansas and western Missouri this evening with large hail, damaging wind, and a couple of tornadoes. Other strong to severe storms might develop later tonight from eastern Wyoming into western Nebraska. This summary is over central and eastern Kansas into western Missouri. Storms that developed along the east-west oriented outflow boundary across northeastern Kansas are expected to persist into the overnight as they develop southeastward, eventually into western Missouri. The 00Z RAOB from top sampled the atmosphere north of this boundary and indicates moderate instability along with 50 knot to 0.6 kilometer shear and 200 plus meters per second squared, 0 to 1 kilometer storm velocity, storm relative helicity. So there's a lot of helicity in these storms. Supercells developing along and slightly to the cool side of the outflow boundary are more likely to realize the vorticity rich 0 to 1 kilometer air and develop low level mesocyclones and a tornado or two. While storms deeper into the cool side should remain elevated, storms are expected to develop southeast through eastern Kansas and western Missouri along an instability gradient supported by strengthening low-level jet. Discrete supercells with large hail and a couple of tornadoes are, as the initial mode may eventually evolve into a MCS with an increasing threat for damaging wind development further southwest into central Kansas along convergent boundary remains uncertain, but will maintain a conditional slight risk for this area. Basically, what they're saying is this is a MCS is a multi-convection system that's going to remain that's going to develop and push through this area overnight. Yeah, Helicity, Helicity. I'll check dew points in just a minute. Eastern Wyoming in western Nebraska, deeper accent with a shortwave trough now moving through northwest Wyoming may contribute to additional thunderstorm development across eastern Wyoming later this evening or tonight, where modest instability and 40 to 50 knot effective bulk shear will support a risk for organized storms capable of isolated large hail and a few locally strong damaging wind gusts. We do have a current meso discussion. Um, Watch issue is 40%. This is for the Wyoming um, area. Latest radar loop shows a couple of thunderstorms initiating over parts of central and eastern Wyoming with a potentially severe storm now indicated near the Natrona Converse County line. These storms are occurring near a northwest to southwest axis of modest instability with a zone of increasing large scale accent ahead of a shortwave trough vortex max moving into northwest Wyoming and adjacent southern Montana. So basically, and they said wash issuance is 40% on this. Current watches we have. You see here, this is a current tornado watch. Current tornado watch was, like I said, issued at 6:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It's for north central and eastern Kansas and is affected to midnight Central Daylight Time. Says a couple of tornadoes are possible, scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events, 2.5 inches or in diameter. Damaging winds are possible at 70 miles per hour. All right, we're going to go back and look at the radars real quick. We're going to go to WSP3. And I'll show you. You know, we was talking about the MCS, multi-convection system. This is what it's talking about. This storm right here is probably going to converge with this one and form a, what they call a bow, an echo, bow echo, and move, or a small squall line and move southeastward into Parsons, Wichita, towards Springfield. This is that tornado watch. Way it looks at this moment, and they may remove this tornado watch because most of the storms have moved through the area. So this may actually get canceled earlier than expected. I can't. The Storm Prediction Center will be the ones that would remove the tornado watch because they put out all the watches while National Weather Service puts out the warnings. JR, you want me to check the dew points? I'll check dew points, temps, and everything in the area below this line. I've got a feeling later on tonight, this area from Kansas City and Missouri is going to meet up with this, and it's going to make a small squall line as it moves down into Springfield, Poplar Bluff area throughout the night and early morning hours, and probably into the late morning. But I'll check dew points and everything real quick. Go over here to this. The temperatures currently in this area, 75 in Clinton. You see, you got 79 degrees, 80, 73 over here, 72 in Rolla. Springfield's at 75. Behind it, you see the 68 degrees and 72 degrees. Salina, you're still at 84 degrees right now. Inside these storms around Kansas, right here, this would be Lawrence area would be 79 degrees. Your dew points at this moment is in the 70s, 68 and 70s. About to sneeze. 68 and 70 degrees. Your humidity at this moment is running 70, mid 70s to the 80s, especially around Parsons at 84, 74 right here, 79. So it's a moisture rich environment in this area. Hopefully that made it easier for you to read because it made it easier for me to read. And here's your dew points. These are your dew points. I'm going to go over them again since I made the font a little bit bigger. See, Rolla's at 70, around Rolla is 64, Wichita 70, Salina 72, with the temperature 84. Relative humidity 66%. This is your temperatures in these areas. So it's extremely warm environment in down here where these storms are headed. And you also got moisture rich environment. See, we got a couple meso detections here on these storms. Nothing says tornado possible on these at the moment. So, um, what I'm going to do at this moment, I'm going to walk around for a minute, rest my back. I'm going to watch these storms on my phone as I walk around. Um, if they get severe, if a tornado warning happens, I will be back in here to take on these storms. But at this moment, if there's no tornado warnings within the next 20 minutes, next 30 minutes, it'll be midnight Eastern Daylight Time, 11 o'clock Central Daylight Time. I'm going to stop the stream at that time unless there's a tornado warning that happens. And if it does, I will continue on as long as I have to. I will do that. So at this moment, I'm going to walk around, rest, and I'll be right back. I will be in the room chatting so you can watch me. I'll chat with y'all from my phone. Okay, everyone. Um, I'm gonna have to end the stream. I'm getting some severe back pain. Um, but I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, join me in Discord. I'm gonna go in there. I'll be in general chat in the next few minutes, chatting with everyone. But I want to thank everybody for watching us tonight. We really appreciate it. Um, so I'm gonna end the stream. Tune into Discord. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be in general chat for a while. We'll be watching the storms, catching up on it. Um, make sure everybody's safe. Like I said, Discord, we got a storm trackers team that watches the storms almost 24 hours a day. Um, thank you all. Thank you, Sneaky. Good night, buddy. Good night, Michael. Good night, JCN. Good night, JR Cheney. Good night, Miss Wildest. To everyone, I really appreciate y'all watching me, joining, and subbing and liking the stream. See y'all in a little bit in Discord.